So, the reason why the president is after the man who's most likely to challenge him next year is nothing but a conspiracy. So many voices are saying just that.
President Trump is again insisting today that reporters should dig into a conspiracy theory involving Biden, Ukraine, and a Ukrainian prosecutor.
Promoting without evidence the dubious narrative that Biden used the office of the vice president to advance and protect his son's interests.
Let's dig into these unproven claims that Trump is making about the former vice president.
We cannot have a debate about a conspiracy theory.
But just how much does the public in America know about the case of a Ukrainian energy company a few years ago? Burisma, the root of all the stir. The public deserves to be aware and make up their own mind. Conspiracy or proper investigation material. So, Joe Biden's son, Hunter, was on the board of directors at Burisma. Mr. Biden Sr., as vice president, was Washington's point man with Kiev at the time. Meanwhile, this man, Viktor Shokin, the prosecutor general there, was in charge of investigating Burisma and its founder for economic crimes. He eventually lost his job. Well, just have a look at how frank Joe Biden was about his involvement.
I said, you're not getting the billion. I'm going to be leaving here. And I think it was, 6 hours? I looked, I said, I'm leaving in 6 hours. If the prosecutor's not fired, you're not getting the money. Well, son of a got fired.
Just guess what happened later after the new prosecutor came in. His office eventually gave the company a free pass. Obviously, though, we cannot connect any dots here. But just so you know, the fired Ukrainian official, no matter how corrupt he ended up being, was confident about why he got kicked out. Here's a quote from his affidavit.
The truth is that I was forced out because I was leading a wide-ranging corruption probe into Burisma Holdings, a natural gas firm active in Ukraine, and Joe Biden's son, Hunter Biden, was a member of the board of directors.
Anyway, let me move on with a few more relevant findings by journalists from The Hill who studied a bunch of emails and Ukrainian government memos. It turns out the folks from a U.S. PR firm that represented Burisma were really eager to get a meeting with the most senior prosecutors in Kiev. One email claimed to have been sent by a Ukrainian embassy diplomat to one of the people from the firm said this.
With regards to the meetings in Kiev, I suggest that you wait until the next week when there is an expected vote on the government's reshuffle.
It's been revealed that on the same day prosecutor Shokin was shown the door, the top guys of the PR team once again got in touch with Kiev. It only took them several days to get a meeting with the new acting prosecutor general. His memo suggests the folks that helped Burisma praise the changes at the prosecutor's office.
The visiting side was surprised by the info and said the U.S. State Department had completely different information describing the failure of the reforms at the prosecutor's office. But then they changed their mind and realized U.S. officials were misinformed.
They also promised to hook up Ukraine's incoming law enforcement officials with ties to the State Department and help organize a trip to the U.S.
They informed me that they would seek to facilitate my visit to the U.S. to pass on the correct information to State Department officials.
After this man, Yuri Lutsenko, officially took over from the acting prosecutor general, step by step, all proceedings against the firm where Hunter Biden had one of the top jobs began to vanish. Now, back to Mr. Biden Sr. and someone who used to meet him quite often as head of Ukraine. According to the fired prosecutor's testimony, the president was pushing too.
On several occasions, President Poroshenko asked me to consider the possibility of winding down the investigative actions in respect of this company, but I refused to close this investigation.
Now, where that would lead experts in conspiracy tagging or the U.S. public as a whole, I have no clue.